Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go. Learn what is to be taken seriously and laugh at the rest. The only way to deal with temptation is to yield to it. Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time. We are sun and moon, dear friend. We are sea and land. It is not our purpose to become each other. It is to recognize each other, to learn to see the other and honor them for what they are. People with courage and character always seem sinister to the rest. If I were to wish for anything, I should not wish for wealth and power, but for the passionate sense of the potential, for the eye which, ever young and ardent, sees the possible. Pleasure disappoints, possibility never. Our mind is capable of passing beyond the dividing line we have drawn for it, beyond the pairs of opposites of which the world consists. Other, new insights begin. I have been and still am a seeker, but I have ceased to question stars and books. I have begun to listen to the teaching my blood whispers to me. It is not for me to judge another man's life. I must judge, I must choose, I must spurn, purely for myself. At every step, the child should be allowed to meet the real experience of life. The thorns should never be plucked from his roses. I believe that I am not responsible for the meaningfulness or meaninglessness of life, but that I am responsible for what I do with the life I've got. The truth is lived, not taught. Solitude is independence. It had been my wish, and with the years, I had attained it. It was cold. Oh, cold enough. But it was also still, wonderfully still and vast, like the cold stillness of space in which the stars revolve. Every age, every culture, every custom and tradition has its own character, its own weakness and its own strength, its beauties and cruelties. It accepts certain sufferings as matters of course, puts up patiently with certain evils. If you hate a person, you hate something in him that is part of yourself. What isn't part of ourselves doesn't disturb us. We kill when we close our eyes to poverty, affliction, or infamy. We kill when, because it is easier, we countenance or pretend to approve of massacres. I have always believed, and I still believe, that whatever good or bad fortune may come our way, we can always give it meaning and transform it into something of value. Words do not express thoughts very well. They always become a little different immediately they are expressed, a little distorted, a little foolish. Every man is more than just himself. He also represents the unique, the very special, and always significant and remarkable point at which the world's phenomena intersect, only once in this way and never again. And every day, the world will drag you by the hand, yelling, "This is important, and this is important, and this is important. You need to worry about this, and this, and this." And each day, it's up to you to yank your hand back, put it on your heart and say, "No, this is what's important." Every true love and friendship is a story of unexpected transformation. If we are the same person before and after we loved, that means we haven't loved enough. People are afraid of themselves, of their own reality, their feelings most of all. People talk about how great love is, but that's bullshit. Love hurts. Feelings are disturbing. People are taught that pain is evil and dangerous. How can they deal with love if they're afraid to feel? Pain is meant to wake us up. People try to hide their pain, but they're wrong. Pain is something to carry, like a radio. You feel your strength in the experience of pain. It's all in how you carry it. That's what matters. Pain is a feeling. Your feelings are a part of you, your own reality. If you feel ashamed of them and hide them, you're letting society destroy your reality. You should stand up for your right to feel your pain. The only reality we can ever truly know is that of our perceptions, our own consciousness, while that consciousness, confused though it may be, is by definition only a limited and limiting perception of the world. Most people are like a falling leaf that drifts and turns in the air, flutters, and falls to the ground. But a few others are like stars which travel one defined path. No wind reaches them. They have within themselves their guide and path. Only the ideas that we actually live are of any value. There is no reality except the one contained within us. That is why so many people live such an unreal life. They take the images outside them for reality and never allow the world within to assert itself. Each man had only one genuine vocation: to find the way to himself. He might end up as a poet or madman, as prophet or criminal. His calling might be humble, or it might be great. For me, trees have always been the most penetrating preachers. I revere them when they live in tribes and families, in forests and groves. And even more, I revere them when they stand alone. We are sun and moon, dear friend. We are sea and land. It is not our purpose to become each other. It is to recognize each other, to learn to see the other and honor them for what they are. You are only afraid if you are not in harmony with yourself. People are afraid because they have never owned up to themselves. It is not for me to judge another man's life. I must judge. I must choose. I must spurn, purely for myself alone. The call of death is a call of love. Death can be sweet if we answer it in the affirmative, if we accept it as one of the great eternal forms of life and transformation. You only have to look at the Medusa straight on to see her. And she's not deadly. She's beautiful, and she's laughing. You have to be an artist and a madman, a creature of infinite melancholy, with a bubble of hot poison in your loins and a super voluptuous flame permanently aglow in your subtle spine. For I am an artist and a professional man and a writer, and a monster and a saint and a man. Wisdom is not communicable. The wisdom which a wise man tries to communicate always sounds foolish. Knowledge can be communicated, but not wisdom. One can find it, live it, do wonders through it, but one cannot communicate and teach it. Love must not entreat, she added, or demand. Love must have the strength to become certain within itself. Then it ceases merely to be attracted and begins to attract. One never reaches home, she said, but where paths that have an affinity for each other intersect, the whole world looks like home for a time. To hold our tongues when everyone is gossiping, to smile without hostility at people and institutions, to compensate for the shortage of love in the world with more love in small private matters, to be more faithful in our work, to show greater patience, to forego the cheap revenge obtainable from mockery and criticism. All these are things we can do. The journey to the truth is an endless repetition of discovering and discarding images, for the truth is revealed in the mirror of the heart. It is not our purpose to become each other. It is to recognize each other, to learn to see the other and honor them for what they are.